What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to take my DRZ front headlight and make it look like this. Alright guys, so to start this video, I'm going to go through and take off the entire front headlight of the DRZ and get everything taken off and expose the entire wiring bundle in there, because I've been in there before. I know it's a complete mess and I'm going to have to completely reorganize the whole thing, along with moving the ignition from right mounted on the bars to the side. You might have seen that done to other bikes before, so that's what I'm going to be doing to my bike. Alright, so I have the whole front end removed and completely exposing the entire wiring assembly, and like I said, it's a complete mess in here. And then I'm also going to be moving my ignition onto the side right here. And for any of you guys wondering, I just made a mess, but this is what my LED looks like. I have a video about this on my channel, so if you're interested in doing this mod instead of the number plate, go check that out. I have a video about that. But yeah, so here's the entire slop of wires. So let's get into fixing all this up along with moving this thing over. And I have my GoPro set up on time-lapse mode, so all the parts of me working on the bike will all be in time-lapse mode, and then I will, do intervals with my good camera, telling you guys what I'm doing. Alright guys, so to give you a little run through of what I've done, I went through and I cut the whole ignition assembly, so this is mounted on the side here. I've removed everything and I went through and I completely organized all the wires. So what I did was I zip tied each wire to itself and folded it over. So I made a loop, ran a big zip tie through all the loops and pinched all those together along with one right at the beginning. So that made one nice neat ball, and I just stuffed it all in there. And then the OEM headlight brackets, they just twist on the forks. So I just push those in to clamp and like hold everything in there. And that's pretty much where I'm at. You guys might have seen that I had to flip this brake line mount because the brake line stuck out too far for the number plate and it was hitting that. So I cut the little spot off here, flip this, and that gave it just a little boost it needs. So really now it's just, if you guys look in here, if I zoom in, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that little thing right there, that little piece of metal right here, it's the speedo cable. It's a bracket for the speedo cable. That's what that is. If my camera would focus, that'd be cool. Okay, there we go. So it is a holder for the speedo cable that is hitting this headlight bracket, and it won't let it fold in far enough. So I have to cut that off, and then I just have to figure out how I'm mounting the number plate. So on the number plate, there are these little hooks on the bottom. What I'm gonna do is there are these little nubs that stick out. I'm cutting these off. If you see, I'm cutting those off, and I'm gonna put holes under here like that. So in there will be 2 holes, and then I'm gonna run zip ties from those 2 under the fender loop right here. So it's just gonna be zip tied to the fender, and then I have light bar that I'm gonna mount. It's gonna be like right here, and I think I'm gonna use this screw that holds on the dash right here to mount it on, so I'm gonna have to custom make a little bracket to put that on. So that's basically what I've done so far. So let's get back to the time lapse, and I'm just gonna keep working. So if you guys can't tell, there's no video on YouTube on how to do this. I've never seen, like I've seen people do this, that's how I got the idea to do it, but I've never seen anyone like have a tutorial on how to do it. So I'm completely winging it, so that's why I'm just doing time lapses, and then I'll fill those in after, instead of going through and showing you guys the steps, because honestly, I don't know the steps. I'm doing whatever comes up, making it fit, and whatever looks good. So enjoy the time lapse. Alright, so it's a new day now, and I figured let's just go through, summarize everything that I've done so far before we get into doing more. Alright, so I moved the ignition to the side, and basically just neatened up all the wires here. I zip tied them all together, and then the stock headlight mounts, I bent those in because they just twist on the forks. Bent them in through a zip tie into the bottom one, and that holds the entire wiring harness in there nice and sturdy. I got the headlight wire right here, and I also, since I plan on getting a stunt clutch, and I packed all the wires in here. This is the clutch, like the clutch safety start. I disconnected that and stuff, so when I go to get a stunt clutch, this isn't gonna affect anything. I'm not gonna have to redo all this. So that's where I stand. That's basically everything you need to do to the bike. Now it's just figuring out mounting the light and the number plate. So on your DRZ, there are 2 bolts for your dash. I'm going to be using this one that's right in the center. That's going to have a bracket come up and out, and that's going to hold the light bar. And then the number plate is just going to be held on by zip ties. So that's basically all that I'm doing for it. The number plate's just going to be held on with zip ties. It's just plastic, so I'm not worried about it. And then the light bar, I'm going to make a steel bracket for. I have this, what is it? 1 inch by 1/8 inch flat bar that I'm going to be using to make a tiny little bracket for the light bar. So let's get on into that, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when I'm done. So I have the bracket made. It's basically two little bends, one like that, and this is what mounts to the triple tree, and that's what holds the light. So it mounts in there like that. So that right there is what the bracket looks like. So I'm just gonna go through, clean up, round over the edges, and then hit it with some black spray paint so it doesn't rust. So this is a steel bracket I ended up making. I already showed you guys the bracket. I went through, hit it with some black spray paint to prevent any rust. So now it's time to go through, dry fit everything, mount this up, mount the light up before I wire it, make sure everything fits good. Then I'm gonna go through wiring the light. I'll show you guys how I plan on doing that, and then mount up the number plate, and that's basically it for this video. Alright, so now that I have the light bar fully mounted and I have all the wiring done, let me show you guys what I did. So I took one of these connectors from a spare light bar that I had. I ripped out the third prong. The point is the low beam. So this is ground and high beam. And so now if I turn on the key, nothing happens. I mean, see the dash turns on, the light doesn't turn on, and then once I turn on my high beam switch, that is when the light turns on. So this switch right here is what controls the light. And as you can see, it puts out a pretty good light output. So now it's just mounting up the plate, which for the most part just snaps into place, like between this little lip right here and the actual light itself. It holds it in there pretty good, but I'm still gonna throw a few zip ties on it just to make sure it's good and nice and steady and isn't gonna flop around like crazy. So it's currently let's see, hang on. It's currently 1:50 in the morning. So you can see, here we go, finally focused. So it's currently 1:50 in the morning. I just finished this right now. I am so excited to show you guys this because it came out looking amazing. First video on YouTube showing you guys how to do this. I've never seen another video on YouTube on how to install a number plate like this on a DRZ. I got the idea from Supermoto Matt on Instagram. Gotta give the credit where credit's due. He's the one that did this first. Same front number plate and everything, so he's the one that I got the idea from, but everything I did in this, I did on my own. Like, I saw he did it like this, so I copied it, but I did it my way. So let's show you guys how I mounted up everything. So when it comes to mounting up the number plate, first of all, I have the bar strap thing right here, along with an extra zip tie going from the hole in the bar strap to the brake line clamp. And then it's like snug underneath the light, like the light holds it in. But then also up and in here, you can see right here, there is a zip tie too. There's a loop on the top of the number plate right here. And then this cable management clamp right here, just trying to zip tie from there to there, that holds that on pretty darn good. And then down here on the front fender, as you can see, there's a little lip, and then there's a little tongue on the number plate, and those two snap in there perfectly with the down pressure from the actual light itself. So that fits in there perfectly. And then also what I did, if you can see right there, I put a zip tie from the front fender mount to a little loop up in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, probably not. But, so I did that on both sides to make sure that it was on there good. And this thing is on there good. You can still turn the key, light works. So I think, in my opinion, it looks so much better than the original Headlight. So yeah, that's how I did it. So that was interesting. Honestly, it was so worth it. It looks amazing. We'll see how it pays off and how bright the light is when I go for a ride at night. Not expecting crazy results, as my original light bar that was this whole 3x5, this is just a 1x6, so obviously I'm not expecting that much, but it'll do the job, and for the limited times that I ride at night, I should be fine. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below. Only video on YouTube on how to do this that I know of, don't get hurt, that I know of, on how to install a number plate on your DRZ400. So if you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, comment, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos of me working on my DRZ. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.